Oba issues a challenge.
Reigns is set for a family feud.
And finally, we have mask versus mask. Kinda. Hello, welcome to Wrestle MSX, the best wrestling channel, just period. I'm Michael.
I'm Sally.
And we recap last week, then cut to Roman sitting down, flanked by the Usos. Roman asks for their thoughts as he doesn't understand where Fatu is coming from. Jimmy says he agrees with Jacob, wanting the things he does, but not at the expense of Reigns. He says he's a different breed, with Jay saying he's dangerous, unhinged and unpredictable. If he beats you, he takes it all. The Ulafala, the family name. Jay adds that there has to be consequences, with Reigns agreeing. Jay then says family first, with Reigns saying the first family. Coming for the presidency.
Seth Rollins then makes his way out and drinks in the adulation before reminiscing about WrestleMania and losing to Gunther. He cites Breakker as the reason for Reigns having the title. Breakker attacked and injured him way back, causing Seth to vacate the title. Rollins then calls out Breakker, with the man himself answering the call with Paul Heyman, of course.
See, I thought Breakker would have been out anyway.
Yeah.
Because last week he said he's coming for him.
Yeah, so he's got to be after him.
And now he's got to call him out before he comes out. But hey ho.
The two stare off, with Seth then saying he gave Bron everything, but he was the reason he had to forfeit the title and the reason he didn't win at WrestleMania. He then asked Breakker what he got out of it.
Breakker said he and Reed were his errand boys, having to put out the fires he started, and then asked him to look around, as he has no friends. Breakker then mocks Rollins by impersonating him, and then tells him he didn't need him, and that he's only standing here because he needed him, pointing at Paul Heyman. Seth then responds with a story. He rang Shawn Michaels, why wouldn't you, and asked him who the best was in NXT. The Heartbreak Kid replied Breakker. Then Heyman came to him a year later and asked Seth about taking Breakker under his wing. Rollins agreed to, saying he had everything and will be the next big deal. He lacks one thing though, knowledge, and he's not ready. Breakker fires back, saying that Seth's body can't handle it and his mind is brittle. He adds Seth's the best at being number 2, with Rollins asking if he got that from Big Poppa Pump. Seth then says Backlash is 2 weeks away and he's going to give him the opportunity to prove he's ready, saying, Steiner, you're not even number 2 in your own family. Making their matches, aren't we?
Yeah.
Why isn't he having a backlash against Gunther? Because that's what it means.
No. We move backstage and see Stephanie Vaquer get blindsided by Rodriguez and Perez, with Liv Morgan then telling her this is her championship.
The damage that they did to Vaquer, I'm getting a feeling they're going to write her out for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because she was heading out to the ring, she was jumped, they squashed her between some backstage equipment. So I thought that was done anyway, really.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought it would continue.
Oh, but so that's a backlash. But the other matches aren't a backlash.
No,
interesting.
You don't know how it works.
Penta, clearly not. Penta then heads out to face Rusev. But before the action can get underway, out comes Ethan Page to watch from ringside with his library card. After some back and forth, Penta picks up 2 for a backstabber, with Rusev then fighting back and landing a matchka kick. The Bulgarian then looks for the accolade, but Penta escapes it and looks for a springboard. Rusev looks for another matchka kick, but having learned from earlier in the match, Penta doesn't come off the rope, so Rusev misses his kick, with Penta then letting go of the ropes, rolling up Rusev for the 1-2-3. After the match, Rusev and Page beat on Penta, with Je'Von Evans coming out for the save and landing his cutter to Rusev. So, tag match,
maybe
Backlash.
Maybe not Backlash, just next week on Raw.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. We then get a promo from El Grande Americano saying he has a match in a few weeks' time. Mask versus mask.
Backlash?
No. Which we thought was going to be at WrestleMania.
We did. It should have been.
Yeah,
really.
it should definitely.
Or even the SmackDown before.
Yeah. He then says to get ready for that match, he wants to take on Rey Mysterio, which he will later.
Becky Lynch heads out next and says she's got rid of AJ Lee and put gold around her waist. She lists a few accolades: first 3-time Women's Intercontinental Champion, won more WrestleMania matches in history than any other woman even, and again proved why she's the greatest female wrestler of all time. She then runs down the locals before issuing an open challenge for her title. Good, I like that. IYO SKY answers the call. Well, she's got nothing better to do now, has she? Sky accepts the challenge, with Lynch then asking if she's out here on behalf of Rhea Ripley, adding, is it going to be Mammy versus the Man? She then adds she wants to fight Shawn Michaels. A lot of love for HBK tonight.
Yeah.
Well, we are in Texas. She wants to fight Shawn Michaels, not Marty Jannetty. Sky then attacks Lynch, with Lynch rolling out the ring. Adam Pearce then heads out and reminds Lynch that she called an open challenge and so has to honour it.
So, Becky Lynch versus IYO SKY for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Sky has most of the match, landing a bullet train after a missile dropkick from the top rope, which all resulted in a 2-count cover. Sky then powerbombs Lynch on the outside as we break, with us then coming back to a superplex, DDT, and 2-count cover from Lynch. A butterfly backbreaker nets Sky another 2, with Sky then landing a tornado DDT and looking for the moonsault. Lynch gets her legs up though and lands a manhandle slam and covers, but only for 2.
The fight then heads outside, with Sky then throwing Lynch back in. Sky then removes her boot, I don't really understand that bit, and gets on the apron. But before she can mount an attack, she's attacked by Asuka. The ref never sees a thing, with Lynch then finishing Sky with another manhandle slam and cover for 3. After the match, Asuka attacks Sky and puts her in the Asuka lock.
Backstage, we see El Grande ask Rey if he needs him to watch his back in his match tonight. He then tells us about his mask versus mask match at AAA on the 30th of May.
Still should have been at WrestleMania.
Definitely. Rey says no, adding he just wants both of them to respect Lucha Libre. El Grande then enters with Rayo and Bravo, with the pair then arguing, and words in Mexican and English then exchanged. Not American.
Backstage, Byron Saxton asks the Usos which way Reigns is leaning, with Jimmy saying he'll make a decision when he's ready. LA Knight then rolls up, says that they're sitting at the table again with Reigns at the head of it, and then reminds them who they are. Jay was a heavyweight champion, and Jimmy has all the potential in the world. Jay then cuts him off and tells him to stay in his lane, with Jimmy adding it's family business. Knight fires back that all that bloodlining power corrupts, and that's when it's his business.
We then get a Joe Hendry song where he reveals he's signed to Raw and asks for Logan Paul to be fired. Absolutely fair.
Yeah, I'm fully behind that.
This naturally brings out Paul and Theory. They say they're winners as they've got the tag titles, with Hendry saying all he sees is losers. Theory says the Vision go through everybody, adding Hendry's in a lucky spot tonight as they're going to go through his ass.
I don't know why that was written and why he agreed to say that.
Theory then pushes Hendry. Hendry fights back, but the numbers have the advantage. The Street Profits then head out for the save and clear the ring.
Of course they do. Backstage, we see Grayson Waller asking Adam Pearce for opportunities and calling Oba Femi overrated. Emmy is, of course, standing behind Waller at this point, with Femi then asking Pearce to give Waller his opportunity against him tonight.
We then see the Street Profits having a sing-song in the back with Joe Hendry, before Hendry splits and Rollins appears. Seth's about to thank them for the save last week when Ford interrupts, saying it's not about you, with Dawkins adding it's about the titles.
Yeah, because they came out last week and fought off the Vision.
Yeah.
And then they came out this way and also fought off the Vision.
Yeah.
So, fair dues. So up next, Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano, with Rayo and Bravo at ringside. Multiple covers are exchanged between the pair, with Rey looking for a 619. This fails as Bravo trips Rey, I think I've got the right one, which causes the ref to speak with the offender. As he does, Rayo tries to load Grande's mask, but Rey ends up 619ing the pair. Rey then misses dropping the dime, with Grande looking to load his mask with that metal plate.
Only as he's about to, El Grande heads out to stop him, with Rey then pushing El Grande into El Grande. Rey then sets up El Grande for another 619 and lands it. Mysterio then drops the dime and covers Americano for the win. After the match, Rey picks up the metal plate and confiscates it from the El Grandes. Speaking of which, the pair of Americanos go at it, with Backstagers having to break them apart.
I've got a feeling that they might unmask each other.
That would be funny. Yeah, at the same time.
Come to, and then
yeah,
it'll just come, it'll come to an end.
That, yeah.
But I think, I can't remember who raised it on Raw. It was Graves. It must have been Graves. Like, or it might have been Cole. But if El Grande loses with Rayo and Bravo, do they have to be unmasked as well? Or do they just carry on doing their own thing?
Full unmasking.
But,
yeah, just them two.
We then have a couple of matches confirmed for Backlash, with Asuka versus Sky and Rollins versus Breakker, with this then followed by a vignette from Asuka saying Sky was her biggest failure and that she's not ready for Asuka. Usual. Okay. Same old, same old.
Next up, Grayson Waller versus Oba Femi. Good luck, Grayson. Squashed in the corner, tossed across the ring, running, twisting, uppercut, fall from Grace, cover, win. After the match...
What, Waller? No chance.
After the match, Oba says Waller is right, that there are no opportunities, with the big champions locked in with their contenders and the US champion not doing open challenges anymore. He has come up with the solution though.
Oh.
The Oba Femi Open Challenge. He then calls out any man in the back to take him on.
Now, who's going to do that for a start?
Why would you choose to do that?
Does this mean like he's going to retire? Because that's what Brock Lesnar did. And then somebody came out, beat him, finished, and then Lesnar was like, you know what, I'm out of here. But on a serious note, who's going to come out and challenge him?
Yeah.
Like, who's... I don't want to see Kofi Kingston coming out.
No.
Yeah, I don't... Or, we've had Grayson Waller. I don't want to see... No, not Rusev. No, we did that.
Yeah, we've had that. Him. Yeah, we've had that. But yeah, you don't want someone that's like... smaller,
Ethan
like
Page.
Balor. Yeah, Ethan Page, he can come out. Yeah.
JD McDonough. Like... yeah, I can't see. There's
Otis. Let's see him do a follow-up from Grace on him.
He would, easy. Backstage, we see the Judgment Day women talking when Morgan asks Rodriguez to head off so she can speak with Perez. Morgan says she's sorry with how things went down with Balor and they are family, but Finn puts himself before that, adding she's going to be in her corner tonight. She then asks Perez if she trusts her, with Perez nodding. The pair go to head off, but Perez wants a moment, so Morgan goes alone. Finn Balor then appears and tells Roxanne she can't trust them, with Perez saying, I can't trust them, or I can't trust you.
So, to the last match of the night, and the main event of the evening, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria versus the Judgment Day's Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez, with Liv Morgan at ringside. Bayley picks up 2 off a middle rope elbow to Perez, with the fight then heading outside and Rodriguez throwing Bayley into the ring post. Valkyria then fires up and takes out both members of Judgment Day before covering Perez, but only for 2.
Lyra then breaks a cover on Bayley from Rodriguez, with Rodriguez then breaking a cover on Perez. Lyra and Arod then tumble out the ring, with Morgan then getting on the apron. Bayley goes to confront her, but Liv drops her on the top rope, which sends her reeling back to the middle of the ring. Perez then lands a Shining Wizard, followed by Pop Rocks, and picks up the win.
We then have a video package of Sol Ruca, with Michael Cole saying she's the newest member of Raw.
And she'll be signing next week.
Nice.
We round off Raw with Roman Reigns getting his answer from Jacob Fatu. The long and the short of it is Fatu's still going for it. Reigns says he made the title relevant, you can respect it and acknowledge it. He milks the crowd, asks for acknowledgement, and then gets interrupted by Jacob Fatu. Fatu gets in the ring, with Reigns hoping Fatu's made the right choice, to unite the family and not divide it. Oh, so now he's part of the family.
Fatu says he didn't need a week, a day or even an hour. He knows exactly what he wants. Fatu cuts a fine promo, saying it's not where you start, but where you finish. He says before WWE, he didn't call him. Jimmy didn't, and neither did Jay, but Solo did and gave him a chance. Reigns stops him in his tracks, saying Solo couldn't get a coffee delivered to his place, then asks him who he thinks runs this place.
The OTC runs this place. He's been a little distracted, but he never forgot about him, and he's the one that signed off on him. Reigns says he doesn't deserve it and he hasn't earned it. Fatu then attacks Reigns with a Tongan death grip before driving him to the mat with a flurry of headbutts. With Reigns down, Fatu picks up the title before throwing it at him. Fatu then leaves the ring, with Reigns then saying on the mic, "I'll see you at Backlash."
Fatu, on the rampway, says he won't wait until then, saying he'll see him next Monday, with Raw then going off air as we look at a dishevelled Roman Reigns.
Why does he need to see him next week? If you want to beat
He's
him
so
up,
angry.
if you want to beat him up, just go back into the ring and beat him up. Like you've got your match.
time for that. We're getting cut off.
You've got your match. That's it. Just
No.
you don't need to do anything.
He does. He needs to beat him up next week as well.
I'm wondering if Reigns will send the Usos
After him or something.
to SmackDown.
Well, he did that, didn't he? But they didn't do anything. They just spoke to him.
Yes, I think they'll send him there to try and, to beat him
Rough
down.
him up a bit.
Yeah, rough him up. Which I don't think they'll do because he beat up the MFTs last week.
He did, yeah.
Which is all part of the family. So I think the Usos will go down.
Maybe.
Try and beat him up.
And then if they're beaten up by Fatu, he could then appear on Raw, and then Reigns hasn't got anyone with him.
No, he didn't have anyone with him this week.
He didn't, but they were around. So if
but
needed,
they didn't come out though.
They didn't.
They could have run out, but then the Usos are doing Reigns' bidding again.
Yes.
And as I think I said before, Fatu, he can't beat them both up because they were one of the best tag teams ever.
Yeah.
Plus Jay's been heavyweight champion, and if you want to Jimmy to have a bit of something about him, you can't let Fatu.
They would be more of a challenge than the MFTs.
They should be,
yeah.
Because the MFTs. I mean, Tala wasn't there last week, so that's probably why Fatu was able to beat them up.
Yeah.
He didn't get Solo though, but yes, don't know. So, was there anything else you wanted to add to that?
I forgot everything else that happened.
Cool. So now for Michael's moment of the night. This could be a match, a line, a look, a promo, something funny, interesting, quirky, different, just something that catches my eye. Obviously, it has to wait until the end because if they do it halfway through and it's something that happens at the end, it's kind of a spoiler. We don't want that. We don't do spoilers here. So Michael's moment of the night is nothing specific. Nothing really grabbed me. Seth and Breaker's verbal was good. It wasn't long. You don't need it to be 20 minutes all the time. It was all right. Fatu was good.
Yeah.
Said what he needed to do. I mean, I don't think he needed a week to think about it.
Yeah,
but you've got to play into these things.
Exactly.
He'd have been like, "No, I don't need a week. I'm coming for you, Reigns." Obviously, it was nice to see a tornado DDT.
Love a tornado
as always. But yeah, nothing really grabbed me.
No.
Sorry
I can
to
tell you
disappoint.
my moment of this review is you saying that Ethan Page came out of his library card because that really got me. That did.
Thank you very much. I'm here all week.
Now, if you have your own thoughts or views that you'd like to share, then please do. Leave them in the comment section just down below. Also, don't forget to go and check out our Muses video where we talk more about what's happened this week in WWE, with a new one dropping every
Blue Moon?
Wednesday.
As always, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That's my new thing.
And we'll see you Wednesday for a look at this past week in WWE and Saturday when we take a look at SmackDown.